You don't need a gym membership. You don't need to run marathons. And no, you don't need to push your body into anything extreme. Because there are just 4 simple movements that can change the way your body handles sugar after you eat. These tiny steps let your muscles pull glucose out of your bloodstream and turn it into fuel, keeping your energy steady and your mind clear. Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Balanced Energy Show. I'm Dr. Ethan Cole, a biochemist from Colorado who has spent years studying how our cells turn food into vitality. And today, I slipped into workout shorts for one reason: to show you how movement, very small, very doable, can literally reshape the way your body feels after every meal. Now here's my promise to you: I'll teach you 4 extremely easy exercises that you can do daily. You don't need to master all 4. Just pick one and begin today. That's all. Let's pinky swear right now, you'll start with at least one. What really happens inside your body? Every time you move, even as I lift my arm right now or bend my knees, your muscles contract. That simple contraction sparks activity inside tiny power plants called mitochondria. These mitochondria transform glucose, the sugar floating in your blood, into ATP, the energy currency that keeps your muscles alive and moving. The harder or longer a muscle contracts, the more glucose those mitochondria pull from your bloodstream to keep up. So here's the trick: instead of letting excess sugar from your meals flood your blood and spike dangerously high, you can invite your muscles to act like sponges. By contracting them, just a little, you redirect that glucose straight into energy. That means better mood, steadier focus, fewer cravings, less fatigue, and long-term protection for your heart and brain. Why these spikes matter? Picture this. You enjoy a delicious pastry, let's say a warm, sugary panchico, my personal weakness. That sweet bite feels heavenly, but inside your body? A huge wave of glucose is flooding in. When that spike hits, insulin surges to push the sugar into storage. Then, often too quickly, the sugar crashes. What follows? Cravings, hunger, irritability, exhaustion. These repeated roller coasters, spike, crash, don't just make you tired. Over time, they can silently open the door to chronic inflammation, premature aging, and eventually, serious health conditions. So, if you could flatten those spikes with something as simple as a few movements, wouldn't you? The 4 movements. That's exactly what we'll explore today. 4 movements. Easy. Practical. Doable anywhere. Each one designed to call your muscles into action right after you eat, before the glucose peak has a chance to rise. Because when your muscles are working, they're grabbing sugar directly from your bloodstream. Instead of being stored as fat or leaving you drained, that sugar becomes energy for movement. So today, I'll guide you step by step through each exercise. Choose one, commit to it, and make it a daily ritual. You'll soon notice your body feels lighter, calmer, and steadier after meals. Not from restriction. Not from dieting. But simply from moving in the right way at the right time. Are you ready? Let's dive into the very first exercise together. Let's begin with the very first movement, something so simple, so subtle, you could be sitting at your desk at work, in a classroom, or even in a coffee shop and no one would notice. It's called the Saul's push-up, or more commonly, the calf raise. Here's what you do. Place both feet flat on the floor. Now, gently lift your heels off the ground, rising up on your toes. Hold for a brief moment, then slowly lower your heels back down. That's it. Lift and lower. Over and over. Quiet, discreet, effective. Try this for about 5 to 10 minutes after a carb-heavy meal. No need to remove your shoes or make a scene, just keep it simple. Why it works? Deep inside your lower leg, there's a powerful but often overlooked muscle called the soleus. Unlike other muscles that fire quickly and fatigue easily, the soleus is uniquely designed for endurance. And here's the fascinating part. Studies show that this particular muscle is exceptionally good at pulling glucose directly from your bloodstream after you eat. In fact, one groundbreaking study, titled "A Potent Physiological Method to Magnify and Sustain Soleus Oxidative Metabolism Improves Glucose and Lipid Regulation," asked participants to perform this very movement, continuously, for 5 straight hours. Now, I don't expect you to sit there bouncing your heels all afternoon. But the results were astonishing. A 52% reduction in post-meal glucose spikes. And a 60% reduction in excess insulin. Imagine that. Just by moving your heels up and down. The good news? You don't need 5 hours. Even 10 minutes is enough to make a measurable difference. I tested this myself. After eating a sweet pastry, I compared my glucose response on a day I did calf raises versus a day I didn't. The spike was dramatically lower when I spent just 10 minutes with this simple motion. When to do it? Timing is everything. Aim to perform calf raises within 90 minutes after finishing your meal. That's when your blood sugar naturally hits its peak, and that's the window when your muscles can step in to help. So the next time you've enjoyed bread, pasta, rice, or maybe even a sugary treat, don't just sit back and let your glucose rise unchecked. Put your soles to work. Lift. Lower. Repeat. It's quiet, it's effortless, and it's one of the most effective tools you have to flatten those dangerous spikes. And now, let's move on to a second exercise, one that's equally simple, proven by science, and chances are, you've already done it many times without even thinking. Now, let's move to the second exercise. It's not complicated. You don't need special equipment. You've been doing it since you were a toddler. It's as simple as walking. Why walking works? There's a study with a rather long title. The effect of a single bout of continuous aerobic exercise on glucose, insulin, and glucagon concentrations compared to resting conditions in healthy adults, a systematic review, meta-analysis, and meta-regression. Sounds like a mouthful, right? But the conclusion is crystal clear. A short walk after eating helps lower blood glucose levels. Why does this happen? Because walking calls on nearly every major muscle group. Your legs carry you forward. Your arms swing naturally at your sides. Even your core muscles engage to keep your body upright and balanced. And remember what muscles do when they contract. They need fuel. Their first stop for energy is the glucose floating in your bloodstream. Your mitochondria, the little power plants inside your cells, grab that glucose, break it down, and turn it into ATP, the currency of energy. The result? Instead of allowing sugar from your meal to pile up in your blood, walking redirects it into motion. Into life. How much walking is enough? Here's the best part. You don't need to walk for an hour. You don't need to sweat through a long workout. Just 10 minutes is enough. 10 minutes of steady walking within 90 minutes after a meal can dramatically flatten that post-meal spike. I tested this myself. One day, I enjoyed a poke bowl, lots of rice, a sweet dressing, plenty of carbs. And my glucose monitor showed exactly what you'd expect, a steep spike. The next day, I ate the exact same poke bowl, but this time, right after finishing, I went for a brisk 10-minute walk around my neighborhood. The difference on my glucose curve? Clear and undeniable. The spike was noticeably smaller, and my energy stayed steady. How to make walking work in real life? Of course, life is busy. Not everyone has the luxury of stepping outside after every meal. But there are always creative ways to fit this in. Invite a colleague to take a short lap around the block after lunch. Put on your favorite podcast or audiobook and let those 10 minutes pass effortlessly. If you're at home, walk up and down the stairs a few times. And yes, a treadmill works perfectly if you can't get outside. It doesn't have to be fancy. The only thing that matters is consistency. Just move your body for 10 minutes. That's it. What you'll notice. The benefits are more than numbers on a chart. Walking after meals leaves you feeling lighter, more comfortable, and more alert. No sudden crash of fatigue an hour later. No desperate cravings for sugar or snacks. Instead, you'll feel a quiet steadiness, like your body is working with you, not against you. Over time, those small post-meal walks add up. They protect your metabolism, ease the burden on your pancreas, and safeguard your long-term health. So the next time you finish a plate of pasta, a sandwich, or even a slice of cake, remember, you don't have to sit there and let glucose rise unchecked. Lace up your shoes, or simply slip them back on, and take a gentle walk. 10 minutes. That's all it takes. And with that, let's move to the third exercise, another simple, everyday movement you already know, but when used wisely, it can work like medicine for your blood sugar. Now, let's move to the third exercise. This one is especially kind to older adults. You don't need speed. You don't need balance. And you certainly don't need to worry about falling. It's called the wall sit. How to do it? Here's how it works. Stand with your back against a wall. Slowly slide down until your knees are bent, like you're sitting in an invisible chair. Your thighs don't need to be perfectly parallel to the floor, even a gentle bend is enough. Keep your feet planted firmly, shoulder width apart, and let the wall support your back. Hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds at first. Then slowly push yourself back up. Rest. Repeat. If you feel strong, you can build up over time, holding for a minute, even two. But always listen to your body. Why the wall sit helps? What makes this so powerful? Because it activates some of the largest muscles in your body, the quadriceps and glutes. These are glucose-hungry muscles. When they're engaged, they demand fuel, and the first source they reach for is the sugar circulating in your bloodstream. Remember the mitochondria we talked about earlier? Inside those muscles, mitochondria immediately begin turning glucose into ATP. Instead of leaving sugar to spike and cause fatigue later, your muscles transform it into steady energy, right in the moment. It's like redirecting traffic during rush hour. Instead of letting cars jam the highway, you open up alternate routes. The result, smoother flow, fewer crashes, less chaos. That's exactly what the wall sit does inside your body. Gentle but effective for seniors. Now, some people worry, I'm too old for exercise. My knees aren't what they used to be. But here's the beauty of the wall sit, it's low impact. There's no jumping, no twisting, no sudden movements. The wall is your support. It steadies you, holds you, and allows your muscles to do the work without stressing your joints. For seniors, this makes the wall sit one of the safest ways to lower blood sugar naturally. Even 2 or 3 rounds after a meal can have a meaningful effect. A real-life example. I remember meeting an older gentleman, Mr. Harris, who had just turned 72. He told me he was nervous about exercise. I'm afraid of falling, he admitted. So I showed him the wall sit. At first, he could only hold it for 15 seconds. But within a few weeks, he worked up to nearly a minute. The change was remarkable. Not only did his glucose readings improve after meals, but he felt steadier on his feet and noticed his thighs growing stronger. He told me, for the first time in years, I don't dread standing up from a chair. That's the quiet power of this simple movement. When to do it? Just like the calf raises and walking, the timing matters. Aim to practice wall sits within 90 minutes after finishing a meal. Even a short session, 3 rounds of 30 seconds, can help flatten your glucose curve. And here's a bonus, stronger leg muscles mean better balance, more independence, and a reduced risk of falls as you age. So while you're protecting your metabolism, you're also protecting your mobility. So the next time you finish lunch or dinner, don't just sit back on the couch. Head to the nearest wall. Lean, slide, hold. Let your muscles soak up that glucose and give you strength for the years ahead. And now, let's move on to the fourth and final exercise, one that combines both strength and movement, giving you yet another simple way to take control of your energy and your health. We've arrived at the fourth and final exercise in this series. And once again, it's something so simple, so approachable, that anyone can do it, especially older adults who may not feel steady on their feet. It's called the seat and knee extension. How to do it? Find a sturdy chair. Sit tall, with your back supported and both feet flat on the floor. Now, lift one foot slowly, straightening your leg until it extends out in front of you. Hold it there for a moment, 5 to 10 seconds, then gently lower it back down. Switch to the other leg and repeat. Alternate back and forth, aiming for 10 to 15 lifts on each side. You can even place your hands lightly on your thigh to feel the muscle working. No strain, no rush. Just a calm rhythm of lift, hold, and release. Why this exercise works? Here's why this matters. Your quadriceps, the big muscles on the front of your thighs, are some of the most powerful glucose sponges in your body. They're built for strength and stability, but they're also incredibly efficient at pulling sugar from your bloodstream when they contract. By extending your knees, you're waking up those muscles. Your mitochondria go to work, transforming glucose into ATP, and once again, your blood sugar levels flatten instead of spiking. It's a simple trade. Instead of leaving sugar behind to cause fatigue or cravings later, you put it to use, right there, right then. Gentle and safe for seniors. The beauty of this exercise is that it's done while sitting. There's no risk of losing balance, no pressure on your lower back, and no impact on your joints. For older adults, that safety makes all the difference. Even better, it strengthens the very muscles that help you stand from a chair, climb stairs, and move with independence. In other words, while you're lowering glucose, you're also protecting your freedom to move confidently in daily life. A small story. I once worked with a woman named Mrs. Alvarez, a 68-year-old grandmother who had struggled with fatigue after meals. She told me, "Every time I eat lunch, I feel like I need a nap." We added just one habit, seated knee extensions for 10 minutes after each meal. Within weeks, she reported back with a smile, "I still enjoy my food, but I don't feel like collapsing on the couch anymore." Her secret? She wasn't just sitting, she was moving, even while on a chair. And her muscles rewarded her by keeping her energy steady. When to do it? Like the other exercises, timing is key. Perform the extensions within 90 minutes of finishing your meal. Even 5 to 10 minutes can help flatten that glucose rise and prevent the sharp crash that often follows. You can do it at the dinner table while chatting with family. You can do it at your desk after lunch. You can even sneak it in while watching television in the evening. It's exercise without leaving your seat. The bigger picture. Now that we've explored all 4 exercises, calf raises, walking, wall sits, and knee extensions, you can see the pattern. None of them require a gym. None require special gear. They're movements you can weave gently into your life. Each one activates your muscles, invites mitochondria to soak up glucose, and leaves you with steadier energy, fewer cravings, and better long-term protection against chronic disease. And perhaps most importantly, they remind us of a simple truth: your body doesn't need perfection, it just needs motion. So choose one. Start today. Even a few minutes after your next meal can transform the way you feel. And as you keep moving, day by day, your muscles will thank you. Your heart will thank you. Your future self will thank you. And so, my friends, we've reached the end of today's journey. For simple movements, nothing extreme, nothing complicated, yet powerful enough to change the way your body handles sugar after every meal. First, the calf raises, those tiny heel lifts that quietly wake up your soleus muscle, pulling sugar out of your bloodstream without anyone even noticing. Second, the 10-minute walk, a gentle reminder that something as ordinary as stepping outside, or walking a few flights of stairs, can smooth out those spikes and steady your energy. Third, the wall sit, where you lean back against the wall and let your thighs and glutes carry the load, transforming glucose into fuel while keeping your legs strong and steady. And finally, the seated knee extensions, perfect for older adults or anyone who wants a safe, simple way to activate their muscles without even leaving the chair. Together, these 4 movements are more than exercises. They are small acts of self-care, little choices that remind your body it is not powerless, it is resilient, adaptable, alive. So the next time you finish a plate of rice, a bowl of pasta, or a sweet dessert, remember, you don't need to sit and wait for the sugar rush. You can act. You can move. And in just a few minutes, you can change how you feel, not only today, but for years to come. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to join our community here. Subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and share it with someone you care about. Because knowledge like this spreads farther when we carry it together. And don't forget to tap the notification bell, so you'll never miss the next story, the next tip, the next piece of wisdom that can help you or someone you love live with more strength, balance, and peace. This channel is more than videos. It's a circle of people choosing to walk through aging with dignity, vitality, and joy. And I'm honored you're here with us. Until next time, move gently, eat mindfully, and above all, keep living with heart.